September the 12th, 2016. You're looking at NOAA's 5-day weather outlook. This storm is at 90% chance of cyclone formation, but notice in the bottom, that's not only in 5 days, but within 48 hours. Now, disturbance number 2 is still at 10%. What they're saying is that there are no signs of closed surface circulation, and conditions do not appear conducive for significant development of this disturbance when it moves west-northwest. It's moving 10 to 15 miles an hour. Guys, I've got close-up images from the 2-kilometer satellite that begs to differ slightly with a couple of these issues, and I want to point that out. There's your storm in the Atlantic with the 90% chance of development. Again, it's got that recurve going back up towards the UK. This is a close-up image of the Gulf. This is NOAA. We're going to look at about 3 different satellite sources here. Now, this storm, they don't even put it on the map anymore, guys, and they don't talk about it at all. But I've been watching it, keeping my eyes on it. It's in my front door. I've learned to do this, but you see the circulation there. This last few images is the most storm clouds that I've seen wrap around the center since the storm came in under Miami a couple of days ago. Check that out. It's worth watching because it's getting into moisture air, and the wind shear is turning from due east to northeast. You see that? That could be a steering current also. Check this out, guys. Backing out, looking at different images. This one is the most concerning to me at this point, but very quickly the one on the other side of Florida could be something to pay attention to. And we're going to look at it because they're saying there's no visible sign of surface circulation, but there is, and we'll get to that point. But just check this out, guys. It's amazing to see these space images now, thinking back about the technology that we used to have. Basically would be a hurricane map. You remember those, guys? You just had the longitude and latitude, and you would get reports from hurricane hunters and ships, things like that. Very little satellite imagery as far as something this close and high definition. Now look at this in the this is infrared, and it's in the rainbow imaging. You can see right there in the last frame that if that center gets completely wrapped up with those thunderstorms, what it does, it starts protecting the inner core of this storm, and it's harder for the wind shear to tear it back, everything. But here is moisture divergence lines. In the last frame, you can see quite a difference, and the moisture is moving right up into the Florida Panhandle. See that? In the last frame, moving north by northeast. So the storm could start tracking in that direction. They have moved it from striking Mexico in the Canadian model to coming up closer to Texas now. Let's look at the water vapor loop, guys. Check this out. Now, in the last few frames, you see that circle kind of near the center of the image. That's where it's trying to wrap with thunderstorms. Also, the drier air is on the Texas-Louisiana border. See the darker black areas? So if it goes straight into that area, that would help as far as it would eliminate the high chances of major flooding. If it follows the track up through Florida, it's got plenty of moisture to work with at that point. So we're going to watch this one. Now let me change this satellite imaging. This is a 2-kilometer high-def shot. This is east of Florida, guys. Now notice in the last few frames, the circulation starts to become apparent at the surface right there. There's a center between the 2 islands. So there is surface circulation. That's my point. They're saying that's not. It's about to go away from the islands and get into the Gulf Stream. It may not have time to do much strengthening, but we need to watch this storm right here very closely. But we got circulation on both sides of Florida. It's not being talked about much. Maybe they will dissipate into nothing. That would be the best case scenario because everybody's been getting plenty of rain in this area. I know there's parts of the nation that need it drastically. But we do have this circulation in both sides of Florida. So we're watching it, guys. It's a heads up. Be safe.